Okay, hello Scrummies. Hope you all are doing great. So, welcome in one more session, which is full of scenario based Scrum Master interview questions you never heard before. So, stay tuned and watch complete video till end. So, before we start, a small request. Friends, please hit like if you really feel we are putting efforts in bringing valuable content for you. And you can go to our community tab and you can see some real success stories from hundreds of Scrum Masters so who are getting benefit from these videos which we are posting regularly and getting their dream jobs. So don't forget to subscribe and hit bell icon so you will be notified for latest videos which we are posting regularly. So yeah, let's move on. So it's time to introduce today's guest, and her name is Sindhuja Nagendran. She is currently Scrum Master at Devon, but today she will help us in answering few scenario-based questions asked in KPMG, and these questions are shared in our WhatsApp group. So we are taking it from there, from real people who are sharing their interview questions with us. So welcome, Sindhuja.
So thank you so much, Sunan, for this wonderful opportunity. First of all, moving to the question, before that, I would like to share some points with you all. Actually, I'm having total 8 years of IT experience with Cognizant Technology Solution. There, I was a .NET developer. Before moving to Scrum Master position, I was a .NET developer. After that, slowly, I loved this servant leadership, so I have transformed my job. After 2.5 years of working as a Scrum Master, I was in the position to quit my job. So I quit and went to US as a dependent visa. There I was not working, but still I was touch with industry and I used to answer questions which were shared by my friends in the group. I had a complete 3.5 years of career break. So what I want to convey here is that whoever is trying for this Scrum Master job or whatever role it may be, try with full passion, with confidence. That is a key. Consistency. Prepare yourself before going to the interview. Have a such nice a confidence. Okay. Why? Because after I have landed India on August 21st, within a week I had 3 opportunity as a Scrum Master. Okay, even some are in pipeline, but I don't want to give more interviews and don't want to waste others' time. So I had just joined. Considering my career break, I thought I may not get this one, but I had PSM1 certification when I was in my career break, and I prepared a lot. Of course, career stock is the key for my success. I would definitely want to share this with you, and this is one of my important key, and it helps me a lot. And so, like this, I have prepared a lot. Within a week, I cracked so many interviews. I got 3 opportunities and joined Devon. Okay, so have full confidence, believe on yourself, you can able to make it. That is a real important thing every Scrum Master needs to have. So really I would like to share this in this forum. So all the very best for everyone who is trying.
Thanks a lot, Sindhuja, for sharing your this personal stuff. Yeah, so that's great. Okay, so let's start. So here is our first question. The first question is about Agile, but in a different way. So the question is where and how you can implement Agile in your personal life. And you have to tell us something unique. It's not about like preparation of interviews or managing different childs. Yeah, just think about it, take a pause and tell us how we can implement Agile in our personal life.
Of course, I have faced this similar questions as well in my interviews. So yes, what is agile? It's nothing but nimble. If you literally search it, it is a nimble. We will use to do small stuffs at a time, and we will merge all the things and we will deliver one big product. This is literally agile. So where I will implemented agile in my personal life. Okay, so we do have, it's a vast chapter, vast topic, but I have implemented couple of items in my personal life I would share. What is the first thing? First thing I used to implement is that day on a daily basis, relative estimation. Okay, how I will implement relative estimation? I am a big book lover. I used to read books. At least I will ensure to read 2 to 3 pages of book. Okay, so I may have some different choices of book. I may have some simple book, or I may have some different a unique book, different language, or the vocabulary will be very difficult. These kind of different books I used to face, I used to read. So how I apply relative estimation over here? Say for example, if my target is 5 pages per day, if the book is very simple and I don't have much idioms or phrases or very complicated words, then that day I will read 5 pages. Based on this, I calculate if I'm getting purchasing or I'm about to read something else. Before going into the content, I will just go through the overview of the book and I will analyze. Okay, it is having some different vocabularies. The language is somewhat unique, so it will take some more time to complete this book. It's not like the simple book what I had read early. So I will compare. I will relate. So for this book, probably today I may finish some 2 to 3 pages only, considering all these things, considering this vocabulary and the sense of writing and the proverbs and the usage. So considering all this, I may take some 2 to 3 pages only today. I'm not able to complete this on 5 days. Like this, I used the relative estimation on this. And another one thing is that a beautiful thing is that in Scrum is we always raid log, we used to say. So we will always assume the assumptions, predict the risk, mitigating the risk, those things we will do. Recently, I have implemented one thing over here. When we had Diwali last month. So that time, it was full of rain. Overall, India, it was very rain. That to Tamil Nadu, it's very pathetic. That time, I was thinking how we will clean up the home or how we will do things. So I just predict how the weather will be there. So that means predicting the risk, mitigating the risk, planning for it. That is a true agile everywhere we used to implement. So in that way, so probably next week, I may expect some rain as per the weather. So I'm planning according, I need to plan it accordingly. So based on that, if I start to work today, probably today I may clean this room or I may do some other sweets or snacks this day based on this. So we are mitigating the risk and preparing it, assuming the thing, and we are estimating our time and planning for it. So this is the one thing. And another one example as well I used to share. Daily, every day in the morning, I used to write what are all the items, what are all the tasks or jobs I'm going to do today. Okay. So here I was in the many time I was in the need to prioritize the job, because I may have n number of jobs like reading books and I'm preparing for some examinations and I need to do some house chores like this. I may have some n number of tasks. So I used to write this task. I will prioritize which is very important, how we can take it up like that. So based on what prioritization, there are a number of prioritization techniques. My sweet technique is that shortest job first. So I used this one. Okay, which is really important, which job is on this list down, which job is really important, which create value for me, like that I will analyze that. And based on that calculation, okay, say for example, next month I'm having examination. I need to take up this examination task at first. So it could be a big one or short one, but it is weightage is higher than compared to higher than other thing. So likewise, I take based in that as well. In that examination, I'm having 4 topic. So I will take the shortest to one topic to finish first. So at that time, when I finish one shortest topic, I feel, oh my God, we have finished one thing that will boost something to me. So after that, based on this, I will finish small task. So probably if I wrote down some 10 tasks based on this WSJ, weighted shortest job first prioritization technique, almost I'm able to achieve some 8 tasks per day. Of course, sometime I may achieve 10 tasks, but still, based on this technique, I used to achieve 8 tasks at least. So like this, for smaller things, I used to implement Agile and Scrum in my personal life.
Great, Sindhuja, great. The way you have explained is really good. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. And this question is again a little bit tricky. So how you will explain Scrum Master role and responsibility to your 8-year-old grandma, and how you will help your grandma as a Scrum Master in implementing Agile? So here's a little, hypothetical question, but let's see, Sindhuja.
Yeah, sure, Zanin. How will you explain Scrum Master to your grandma, and how will you implement Agile or Scrum method practices in her life? A great question again. Yes, how I will explain to my grandma. If I just simply go and say Scrum Master will organize this, facilitate this meeting, definitely my grandma will kick out me. So I cannot explain this way, but I could explain on her own way, on her work or what she knows. Based on that, I can explain her easily, I think. Definitely my grandma knows some vehicle, at least tractor or like that, because they are from the agricultural background or they are very old. So like that, at least they know bull cart. Based on that, I could explain who is Scrum Master. Okay, so say for example, I will explain to my grandma stating that consider a vehicle. It could be a car or tractor, even a bullock cart, like that. Okay, so who is Scrum Master in that cart? Who is playing the product owner? Who is playing the developers or team members roles? How I can explain those things? Consider a vehicle. Okay, so vehicle, that body of the vehicle is our Agile or Scrum. Okay, so we are working under the body. So that is a body is Scrum. The four wheels here, no one is big, no one is small. We cannot say without them, without this part or without that part, we can run the vehicle. Each and every part is very important to drive the vehicle. So the four wheels could be the team members, developers, our architect, everyone. Without the four wheels, if you miss any one of the wheel, also we are not able to run the vehicle. Of course, the engine should be the maybe the product owner, like that. Scrum Master is the one who drives this vehicle. He or she will drive the vehicle very carefully, very sensibly. Okay, she or he needs to predict the risk. There may be a number of issues or something she or he could face on her road, but she needs to be very alert. She needs to drive this vehicle very carefully to reach the destination, to reach the goal, because she's not alone. She's having her team members, she's having her product owner, she's having some methodology, and she's having some goal to reach. Okay, so she's the one who needs to mitigate all the risk, either weather, or else if there is any blocks in the road, any intersections, if there is no clear cut path, that time Scrum Master needs to be very patient. She needs to be a very listener. He or she needs to be a very proactive person to drive the vehicle. So the Scrum Master is literally driving the team with all of their team members. Here, it doesn't mean Scrum Master is a leader or servant leader. She's literally a servant leader. Everyone is helping her, and she's in turn think what's the team member wants. Where what is their goal, what their wish, like that she or he needs to think, and she needs to drive the vehicle very carefully to reach the destination, considering it may be a number of issues she may face on the way. She needs to be proactive, she needs to be very attentive, she needs to be very polite, she needs to listen their respective team members. Like this, how the driver, he is very crucial. Like that, Scrum Master is very crucial. She needs to run the team. Okay, so this is how I hope my grandma may get this point. So literally, she's a driver. Okay, she or he needs to drive this very properly to reach the goal or destination. Okay, so moving to the next question, how will you implement Scrum principles or values in my grandma's day-to-day life? After hearing this question, I just remember some couple of items my grandma used to say in my home. So we do have one value as responding to a change over following a plan. Okay, so responding to a change. In ancient days, we may have a number of things. Some are scientifically very true. Some still we are believing that it is very honest one. Why we are following this rituals like that. So like this, we used to say, I'm not sure about the whole entire India is having this principle or not, but basically South Indians used to have this principle. After 6 p.m., you're not supposed to comb the hair like this. After 6 p.m., you're not supposed to sweep the home. These are all the basic principle. My grandma used to insist me, don't do this after 6 p.m. You're not supposed to comb your hair like that. So responding to a change over following a plan. This is a plan they have followed for so many years, but I will explain her, grandma. This could be followed those days, but think now we do have light. Why they have said we are not supposed to comb the hair after evening is that we may that time it may be very dark. We are nowhere aware of the electricity. We haven't found any new technology over that time. So if you are combing, our hair might have fallen the food. If you are sweeping after 6 p.m., we don't have light. We may sweep it and trash it out. If suppose there is any valuable item, without the power we may trash the valuable item. These are all the reason we have followed such kind of plans. But nowadays we do have light, we do have UPS, we do have torch lights, we do have solar lamp, like that. We are having n number of things. So we have to respond to those change. It said that on the time, because we are not able to have these kind of facilities or technology development, but nowadays we are having. So responding a change. Responded. We are having so many developments, so many advancement, world is going somewhere else. So for this, responding a change, that is a key thing. So I could explain this values to her by stating these examples. So if you are combing now, we can have light. So food, we can check our food before we are eating as well. Before sweeping, we can know that because of the light, we can know that, oh, okay, we are not throwing any valuable stuff or anything else, like that. We can explain her. So this is one thing I would like to explain to my grandma if she's supposed to ask me question.
Excellent, Sindhuja. Really, I'm loving this session, honestly.
Oh,
Okay, okay.
thank you.
So, okay, here the next one. Again, a tricky one, not a straightforward. So, adapting to a change can be done using common sense. But why then this agile? Why there is so much fuss about agile, Sindhuja?
Excellent question. I was thinking this question for a long time as well. But yes, of course, adapting a change can be everywhere. Yes, of course, I agree totally. Honestly, I agree this. But why we want agile? God is everywhere. Then why do we want temple? Correct. Yes. Nowadays, our mother, our parents are very well educated. Why do we need school? So, like this, everywhere we are having something, but the proper way, the discipline, those things, we need to follow some methodology or some framework or like this. Okay, so we can say that, I can say everyone who believes God or who believes something else, everyone they can say that God is here, God is there. But still, we are approaching temple, we are going to temple, we are doing some prayers day to day life. Okay, we can do it at home itself, we can do here itself in front of this camera. But again, we need some place to do this prayer, and we need some environment, a based correct proper environment. We are expecting some proper environment with flowers, with the bhaktis or the pujas, some lamps, lightning festivals, like that. We need some environment to do this. Correct. So likewise, God is everywhere, but we need temple or masjid or church to have this thing. The similar way, our parents are very well educated. We do have so many YouTube channels to learn. We do have some online forums to learn. Still, why we want schools? Still, why we are seeking for some good schools, that to the best schools we are searching. We are expecting some teachers to train our kids. Though we may be, sometimes we may be very well educated than the teachers, but still we need them. We need the school, we need the teachers, we need the best school, we need some format, some structure. It is in need. So likewise, everywhere change is applicable. We are changing day by day, but still we need agile or scrum to implement our approach. Or for our organization, it's really need to have the structured manner. That structure is very important.
Okay, Sindhuja. So, shall we move on to our next question?
Sure.
Okay. Now, this one is a little tricky. How you will explain agile to your 80-year-old grandma?
Okay. Yeah, agile, not any specific framework, so it's agile. How will you explain agile to your 8-year grandma? Yeah, so agile is nothing but iterative incremental approach. So very simple. It's an iterative incremental approach. It means that small thing incrementally we are delivering some whole product. Simple, very simple. So how I will explain to my grandma. I do still remember during my childhood days, my grandma used to uh, purchase small gold coins instead of a big jewels. Okay, why? Because that time we are not so good financially. Nowadays also still that is in practice. We used to buy small gold coins every year. After that we have saved some couple of coins or some 5 to 6 coins. After that we will make that coin into a big jewel. We will purchase that as a big jewel. So the agile is also a similar way. Actually, as per me, in our ancient days, our grandma, those people, traditional people are always in agile practice only. Nowadays, only we are all learning, it seems. Why? Because this way, they have done this way. So every year, actually, they are creating some value. They are not, it doesn't mean that they are not creating any value. They are saving some amount and purchasing a little small gold coin. Ideally they are releasing some value, they are creating some value. Likewise we are having some small sprints and we are delivering that end of the sprint. We are not creating it, it doesn't mean that we are not creating any value. Every sprint we are creating like some value. Likewise my grandma also used to get some gold coins, little small gold coins end of every year. So ideally she's creating some value. Okay, likewise after some n number of sprints we will merge all together and we will deliver a big product. Likewise, I will explain my grandma stating that we will purchase small coins for some years. After some years, we are again getting the big jewel after giving the small gold coins. Like that only we are also working in an agile environment. We are incrementing, we are creating an iterative incremental approach, small thing like this. Okay, and one more super good benefit is that I can easily say to my grandma that, see grandma, this year we have saved this much money and we have bought this one. Okay, now we can calculate which is the best way, either having a money as it is or purchasing a gold coin every year and getting a jewel after so many years. So fast fail. Okay, inspection and adaptation. We are implementing this as well here. If suppose in my first year itself, if I do this inspection, I got to know that whether I'm doing a right thing or else a wrong thing. Okay, I will inspect. Having a money will create a good value in my future, or having a gold coin will create a good value in my future. Like this way, I can inspect. And if suppose my approach, what I already was having is not beneficial, then I can stop that one. Fast fail, inspection and adaptation. So this way I could explain easily to my grandma, stating that like this way, if you are purchasing some small gold coins and after some year we are getting some big jewel. Anyhow, all the time we are creating some values. We are not so ideal. We are not simply sitting and doing things. We are creating some value at the end of our each and every work, like how we are doing our sprint. Now, every small sprint as well, we are creating some value. After integration of all these things as well, we are creating a big value. So ideally, these both are same. So like this way, I can explain agile to my grandma very easily.
Hey, thanks a lot, Sindhuja, for this great answer. Okay, so friends, here we are just closing this particular session, but this is just part 1 of our session, and we have more questions for Sindhuja in part 2. So stay tuned, and today we have just covered 4 questions, but yeah, we have many more questions in upcoming sessions. So if you have not subscribed, please hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit like. I really enjoying this session, Sindhuja, with you, and I hope all our viewers who are watching this session will also enjoying or learn something new. The way you have answered all your questions is totally in a different way, honestly. Yeah, I've not heard something similar in the past, and I believe all our viewers are also feel same. So yeah, thanks a lot, Sindhuja, for your time.
Thank you, Sunan.
And see you in our next session very
Sure,
soon.
Sunan. Waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye.